So today in my English course a very specific interesting situation came up as we had to place us in the imaginary situation of making a phone call to, in my case, cinema. So all the beings were like put into situations where they had to phone somewhere to make reservation for tickets, to ask like specific information and stuff like this. So I got the point to cover to phone at a cinema. And yeah, my exercise was to imagine I have met a new girl. I'm with a girl and I want to impress her on the first date, and I want to go out with her to the cinemas. And yeah, I personally prefer horror movies, and I am like, yeah, I also want to prefer like the late movies, because before the movies I want to go with the female to the with the girl to have dinner. And so yeah, this was like the point. Now I should call there and reserve tickets and like make a reservation or stuff like that, get the information. And what was coming up then, and what is coming up as backchat was immediately as I read this, that yeah, you're going on a first date, blah blah blah, you want to impress her. I immediately like got into backchat of, okay, this is fucked, I did reject this point. And also actually I had the thought that it is then not important to do this. Then firstly, that it is fucked and I do not want to impress anybody. And then the second thought was that yeah, that first it was that it is fucked, that it is that is typical male, that is blah blah blah. So this is like the relationship system functions. And then the point of, yeah, okay, I simply will not do this, or it is not important. It is not important to look at this information. And yeah, then the third point was what came up, that I am thinking about that yeah, then they came up that I actually I thought about like, okay, so this point was comfortable for me, and I did not want to play this role. Exactly. Basically, it's a role, and I did not want to play this. I did reject this, and came actually the point that I imagined for a short time. Okay, I could now also exaggerate this point, like make it funny somehow, as telling this at the phone. Okay, yeah, blah blah. I want to impress my girlfriend because I want to fucking scare her, because of what. Yeah, simply I did not know how to deal with this point, and then I shortly thought about like exaggerating this role of making it ridiculous. So then, yeah, it was interesting because then we performed this point of the Kinu point, and I made the call, and talked, and like was excited or like a little bit fearful also, and then after being finished with the call, I simply we went back to the places, and the teacher said, so now what was about your girlfriend? Did you forget the girlfriend? And I said, then I said, no, actually it was my first date, and this is not that important. I do not really know if it will like be a girlfriend, or if this is like important. So I mean, in this I also like made the situation ridiculous, because I did not actually see the point, or want to see the point that I mean, what came then up with sitting there, I realized that actually I forgot this, because I like cannot imagine, or not cannot imagine, I mean the point that showed up is that I do not want to imagine and play this role, and like from a perspective of that this point is like so because it's just a mind point. I reacted to this point so much that I did not allow myself to even participate in this role of like wanting to impress a female openly. So openly within this point of like setup point, and it's like obviously the point is there, and I suppressed it, so I tried to impress others subconsciously, because I judged this basically, and it's like very interesting, because actually I can see that I have participated in such points where in actually this point of like watching horror movies with my girlfriend, and like I would say, or within my mind the point exists that she liked horror movies and I did not really like it, but I liked it because then within this she would like be very zutraulich, I don't know, like I would be her savior in her fear and in her fright, and like yeah, so I would be the strong point in this, and obviously this is then the also like arousal point, or was like a point of yeah, where she would simply then like come in my arm and like so this I mean, how did I start to judge this so much? Or I mean, it's also then like the point that creating horror or looking at horror to have this relationship connection going on. So basically what you do when you are watching like horror films and then like create a connection from this is that a fear is created, so and yeah, a fear within the one part, and fear within, or not a fear, but for me like the role of a savior. And actually I played or replayed this out quite fucked uply, because what also came up within this setup role gameplay, fuck it, now it is the point, was that yeah, I thought about okay, like saying yeah, or such other some psycho film along these lines. And now what we have played out with this was with yeah, we were also like watching like this psycho thrillers, and points like this where which then relate. And actually at some point we created a situation deliberately where we would say to a friend or a being in the closer or not closer in the circle of friends, where we set up a situation to lure this being in, to go into a room with my girlfriend to like pretend to have sex, or it was like a setup where we told this being, okay, it is no problem. It's like really fucked up, no problem if you have sex with my girlfriend. And oh no, it was like she told him this. I mean, we planned it before. I planned this with my girlfriend to set up a situation where a friend would be where she would where I would catch them with having sex or nearly having sex, and to play this out. It's not specific. Like she said, we made this plan. She said to him, "Okay, look, I want to fuck with you. Come, meet me there and there. We can fuck in this room, and come. We go out. We do this." And they met. They like went into the room, and like 10 minutes or so later, or 5 minutes or so later, I knocked on the door, and yeah, like threw a tantrum and like pretended. I mean, it was all set up. Pretended to like be angry and throw him out, like threatened him to beat him up and shit like that. And yeah, then and I mean, when I look at it, and I threw him out of my of the cinema, because it was basically in the home where I lived, which is another fucked up point. So yeah, and actually I can see that this was like set up to play out a whole the situation of my girlfriend cheating at me from my perspective, and from her perspective to place him as the bad guy and me as the good guy, and from my perspective as to place him as the bad guy, but also to give me the perception that I have like taken revenge, or to that I have like regained my manlyhood, and that I have defended my girlfriend, and that I have like saved her from the bad rapist guy that wants something from her, which is pretty fucked up. And she from her perspective it was like also to in essence it's fucked up, because this is a whole we relived this memory. We tried to change the content of what has happened as she cheating on me, or the whole situation that has happened as memory of cheating and being cheated to and through placing another one as like the scapegoat that has to take our own judgments about ourselves. And yeah, I mean the point that it was like for both sides like a memory manipulation point, because as said, for me I could like somehow then not cope, but I could within myself experience this sense of that I am manly again and have won like over the intruder and the bad guy. And for her also the point that this guy was the bad one and the rapist and shit like that, and me being the good savior. So yeah, this being the point that I wanted to cover up. My own horror psycho movie. And I mean it's pretty fucked. Yeah, but so we like put this, or I mean, yeah, I said it was like a scapegoat to also exert out this anger, emotions, this hatred, and for me and so I mean this is when I look at it whole fucked up point of, or a motto and theme that we have played out in various points or along the whole relationship. And yeah, so also a point of self-definition where I think and believe that a male has to be like so strong, the protector and savior and this and yeah, savior and I mean this is then played out within also the normal point of watching horror movies, where then take me in your arms, blah blah, and also then like, I mean, that we have like driven this possession into such a point where we actually acted this out on another being. So, yeah. And I mean, yeah, this is interesting, and an interesting point for me to consider within myself, for yeah, simply to consider that the point exists as being this wanting to be this savior type of guy and protector type, and that I want to hide this. So that it is, but it is still there. And yeah, obviously the point that without this, the relationship would have run out. And without this point, the relationship would have had no emotional content. So the I mean, the obvious point, or the point for me, is here the superiority in the feeling of power and control, because in actuality which then gave me the impression that the that I'm in power and control, and that the relationship is working on some level, because I could protect and I could save and rescue my girlfriend from a self-created enemy that suddenly existed in my mind. So yeah, the impression. So I only basically have to realize again that I, in this whole point, just wanted to impress myself, so that I have somehow re-established my reputation for myself as the man, that my male ego, basically simple, and I have made an impression on myself. Okay. I made an impression on myself. It's really interesting. Also, when I then look from the perspective of my girlfriend, that I had to like play this out to make an impression on her, so that she would see me as a suitable and acceptable partner, as a male that can protect and rescue and save her. Also, again, from an imaginary enemy. And yeah, thus I reacted to this point of role plays, of horror movies, and making an impression on females and on girls, because she was a girl at the time. And yeah, so thus I have also then judged this within myself, because I did not want to see this point, because it's like fucked up. I mean, how fucked up? Well, not to judge it again, but yeah, not to judge it again. And it's simply fucked up what I accepted and allowed just to keep existing within this relationship. It's really ridiculous bullshit to keep not only existing as in this relationship, but as a mind, as an ego, as this male ego point. And yeah, to survive as a mind consciousness system, as this relationship entity. So yeah, thus I judged making impressions, impressing another. Yes, this was what I tried to do. Not only in this one instance. Yeah, I guess that's it with this point. I released this point and forgive myself. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to desire to impress other beings. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to deliberately set up situations of where I can put blame onto other beings and place me as a savior or superiority to impress others as myself. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to want to impress myself. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to think and believe that I have to impress myself. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to think and believe that I have to prove to myself that I am worth something as a male. And in this endeavor I have to impress females, so that a female is my relationship or girlfriend is impressed with me, so that she will keep up a relationship with me, so that I'm not alone. And I forgive myself that I've not allowed myself to realize that within this whole point I have only impressed myself, as this relationship was my first relationship where I believed that another being likes me and loves me, which gives me worth and value. So I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to think and believe that I need to impress other beings to be worth to be worth something and of value. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I only try to impress myself because I do not value myself, I do not see myself as worthy. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to not accept myself as life. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to abuse others as deceiving them so that I can, deceiving them, and so that I can feel superior or more than others, just because I did not accept myself as who I am. So